We're going after the third amulet piece. I think we're gonna test drive our bow. This isn't gonna work though without additional perk points used. I mean, if we don't actually invest in archery, this is gonna suck no matter what we do. Sort of same with sneaking. We can't really do backstabbing or proper sneaking unless we put the perks in. Bound weapons do more damage. Bound weapons cast soul trap on target. I'll take this one. I need to start gathering souls, otherwise I can't really do enchanting. Alteration. We're not using that now. Not sure I want to spend points here at the moment. You certainly should. It amounts to 100% of bonus damage. So even if we don't spend the poor perks anywhere else, we should at least take the bonus damage. Yes. It's 20% more damage. The more you have, or more you rely on the backstabbing or sneak attack damage, the more it matters. Because it gets multiplied. So a point here and there usually won't matter much, but yeah, multiply it by 3, 6 or 15 and that's a lot of damage. Soul captured, soul captured. That's the important part. We can also use the soul gems to recharge our magical equipment. But I think enchantment is the bigger thing, because we have to have enchantment. Otherwise we're so fucked. Extra life wouldn't hurt. Extra resistances wouldn't hurt. You don't have an immediate worry about those though. It's just important to admit the fact that we're not going to make it through without them. I suppose there's one way, but it's the stealthy way. Basically we would have to fully commit to being stealthy all the time. Because you can do attack damage and then disappear again, turn invisible or use some other means of avoiding detection. But I frankly don't want to do it. It's always there, I suppose, yeah, as a fail-safe. If everything else goes wrong, you can always rely on that. But it's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just if you repeat the same thing over and over again, no matter how amusing it is at the start of it, the game is long enough for you to become bored with it. I mean, if you just do the same thing over and over again, there's a limit to how much you can handle that. Coming our way. Another thing that seems very attractive at the moment, we need to silence our spellcasting. Every time we do a little bit of a spellcasting thing, a lot of monsters seem to react from a wide area. That is not acceptable. I think illusion provides that, and not just for illusion spells, but for all spells. Usually, all spells have some kind of a ability that is useful. Oh shit, it's trapped. It's useful for all other spell types too. I think Restoration, for example, has all spells are more effective against undead or something like that. They tend to require a significant knowledge of the skill. It's not something you can easily get your hands on. If you master the skill, you'll learn it. Whale, eagle, snake, whale. Whale, eagle, snake, whale. That it? That is it. So, whale, eagle, snake, whale. Yeah, I think the remaining guy is on top of this pillar. Definitely could invest in cost reduction abilities too. There's no way we can possibly cast everything we need We have to wait quite a bit of time to recharge our abilities. Lord Gaerman's Key. Lord Gaerman, Archmage of Windhelm, Lord Battlemage of King Harold. Mages, keep thy vigil eternal. Serve now in death as you did in life. By these seals our realm preserved, from traitors three and their charm of strife. Spider. What good are you if you're gonna run away from fights? So far so good. I'm not sure if I care about training. I don't have the funds for buying training anyhow. Okay, we'll see what the situation is after we finish this. So this is gonna...
Fus, Roda!
I do wish we could see more different type of enemies. As long as we face these and our illusion is below 90, there's no way we can really take advantage of that. I suppose we might achieve illusion, I mean invisibility, at some point. This is a trap, but... Alright. Wonder how silent spell affects destruction magic. Naturally the enemy has to react to it. It's gonna be being blasted by fireballs and lightning bolts. But I wonder what chance would you have to do stealthy damage spells? Oh, well. That's our target. So, it's very odd looking. You see? I see. He's in a way duplicating himself. And only the real one takes damage. Right. Well, I suppose the stealth skill is very useful here. Can't really react to something he can't see. Think I can tell the difference between them. Well, probably safe to say that's a wrap. Hanging moss. Stamina 30 points. Nothing new. Same familiar crap we've already been used to. Nothing interesting. Pearl. Small pearl. Money and rubbish. Loot-wise, this was a huge disappointment. But I suppose, since it's part of a group of tombs, doesn't matter that much. As long as the end result, or in the end, the overall loot is satisfactory. Yeah, this was not even close. Not sure if we got a little bit of cash, minor gems, but nothing to be excited about. Reforge the Golder Amulet. So quick travel to Markat and travel there. Easy enough. You have way too much carry weight. I was not quite sure what should I jump. I don't really see anything that's too... Well, I suppose I have too many potions, quite a lot of them in fact. So an alchemist. And I don't think that's exactly an optional thing either. We have to get rid of some of the weight. Ah, well, Whiterun is close by, and we need to go somewhere to get the goddamn carriage service anyway. Early evening. So we need about 12 hours. We need to disenchant shit and we need to sell a lot of crap. Alchemist and the general shopkeeper are only ones who will buy the potions. Maybe the Khajiit will. Courier.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
The museum invitations.
I admit that
Silas Decius represents the Museum of the Mythic Dawn, a history of the cult that toppled the Septim dynasty, inside of his very own home in the great capital of the Pale, Dawnstar, free and open to all citizens of Skyrim.
guns are a concern, but we can avoid them if we do not stay in one place for too long. Warm sands, friend.
The
The
wind
war.
blows bitter
That
cold
is not a
in this
reason to
place.
leave. It is a reason to stay.
Blessings of the moons upon you, traveler.
Training in Sneak.
Because
May
war
your
is good
road
for
lead you
business,
to
of
warm
course. How can I assist? Take a look.
What are you buying? We don't have that much to really sell. Not really. We need to start doing the enchantment. We are starting to collect the soul gems. The enchantment means we'll have to have an item to enchant. So jewelry is good for that. There the gems come in handy. Because the more valuable the jewelry, the more experience you can get. So it'll benefit smithing and enchanting both. Any scrolls to get rid of? Yeah. Okay. We want to get rid of this crap with a fairly hard hand.
I hope that you will
I have
come to
to.
do business with us again.
I have 2 more shopkeepers we can dump them on. Maybe try to buy something. Well, if we're gonna buy something, we might as well try to buy it from the alchemist. At the same time,
There's a nip in the air. Cold won't be good for my crops. Never is.
we don't particularly want to store a huge amount of ingredients either. So we'd have to make potions of them, which we have trouble getting rid of right now. So we'll see how that
You're
works out.
someone who can get things done. I like that.
Because the biggest problem we have with smithing is that we need jewelry more than anything else. Higher the value, the better. Something wrong with the water under the bridge.
good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
Might as well disenchant first. Can also enchant a few items at the same time. Enchantment is probably the most cumbersome of all the crafting skills. It's because it requires you to always select 3 things before you can enchant something, and it resets itself every time you enchant something, so you have to select everything again, and usually at least from a couple of large lists. I mean, every enchantable ability you ever de-enchanted is in a single list. There's a lot of enchantments, so it's not a
Come
good
to
system.
Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors.
We don't have too many abilities now, and it's still starting to look like a
It
list.
seems this damnable conflict
too
has
many
claimed
items.
everyone's passions of
Soul
late.
gems is the biggest
Me,
mystery.
I
I
prefer
mean,
my books
for
and
all
my
practical
spells.
purposes, why not have just petty gems, soul gem, lesser gems, common gems? Basically, 1 gem selection per type. Why does petty gems have to be in 12 different places? I mean, what would be lost if they would just be combined to a single one? What would be lost if I use this stack of 9 petty soul gems to produce an effect? On an amulet that I have 3 of. So, by my logic, I should at least be able to produce 3 items without changing selection. I mean, you have an option usually to empty all selections anyway, but that's not what happens. And another confirmation dialogue,
That's a
and all
decent
your
enchantment,
choices
but keep
are
studying.
reset.
You've only scratched the surface.
So instead of just quickly being able to do things, you're just constantly having to go back and forth with this again and again and again and again and again, and it's a thing that should basically be at often choosing a couple of these item types and then just spamming R to craft is a very lengthy and tedious process. This system would be okay if you couldn't gain skill by crafting. Then it would be fine. The reason is now you have a system that is designed to need a mass amount of crafting to do, because that's the only real way to develop it further. But the user interface for crafting does not support that in any way. So it sucks. Might as well try to get rid of extra thingies. Even a couple of ingredients lost would be great. 45 block. Okay, leading ground fully known. Butterfly wings. Wonder if this has enchantment. Butterfly enchant. Yeah. That's another ingredient fully known. In progress, making progress. Butterfly wings. Image Magica. Fortify one-handed combat. Lai Amanita. Guess we're making some progress, but big problem is we don't have a lot of different ingredients. More or less have multiples of things we've already tried. Yeah, we would need something new. Well, most of these are already known. Well, we could actually just make potions out of them then. At the same time, I suppose it's doable. These aren't all that valuable. And we could certainly use them to test other things.
Come to Dragon's Reach.
Why my crap?
I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. You know, if you've got the
At least
aptitude,
we have a couple of
you should
thousand
join
gold
the mage
coins again.
college in winter.
We can just get rid of a little bit of weight, we should be fine. We have easily 10 plus most of the basic potion types, so we need to get rid of those. A couple of healing potions here and there won't hurt us, and they might be useful for questing purposes, but not this many. Yeah, something's wrong with the water.
All I can think
Those
about is
green
my
apples
son,
you sold me
my
the other day
soul.
were delicious.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. You look rather pale. Could be ataxia.
Could be.
So you're an alchemist then?
At one point you're gonna be right about that. Okay, minor potions. Cheap, plentiful, worthless. We could buy some of the more rarer ingredients, testing purposes. I don't particularly want to buy anything too valuable though. Yeah, this should help a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
I will. Rabbit stamina. 45 block. Can eat the giant
I sell
lichen.
cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you. I offer remedies for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service.
Hmm.
If there's anything I can help you with, you have but to ask. You'll
Ah,
find tonics, salves, poultices, and things on my shelves. Breath to your heart's content.
lingering damage magic. Okay, good enough. We'll eat the giant lichen and that'll be it. Weakness to shock. We still have the general shop, but the carry weight situation is definitely under control already.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
I
Everything's
don't
for sale.
think we'll
Take a look.
complete the final place this time. I'd certainly like to reach it. $3,600 and our carry weight is 150, which means we have about the same amount free carry weight. So overall things are looking good. We have extra perk points to use. Yes, but not really sure where to put them. Depth level destruction spells cast at half magic. Don't know. We'll probably get 50% extra damage on fire or even frost. Frost is sort of a... it's too narrow. That's the problem. But we have to get more alteration too. It's more of a... we currently have very little use for the extra armor, but if we want to join organizations like the Companions, or try to increase our one-handed weapon skill, we're going to have to be able to stand in combat against others. So at that point it's pretty much a must-have thing. Either have a huge amount of armor skill or just be able to boost your
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
armor creation spells to a great extent.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
That's not a immediate problem.
Ever been to Mark Arthur?
I don't think it's a bad investment.
Some say it's
I
built
think
by the
we might
dwarves.
have better
I don't
places
believe
to
a
put
word
the
of it.
points right now. And we are closing on a lot of threshold abilities, like reaching the 50 point limit on a few skills. So that should open up quite a few things for us. Steel Market is I think it's an abandoned dwarven city, that's why it looks a little bit different. More or less built into the mountainside. Ignite. Exactly do we need to go? Okay, the trip isn't that long. Great. I can already see the site from here. I'll end it there. There's no telling how big the site is going to be. Thank you. I get a little bit of help? No, not a flame familiar. Conjure. No, no, no. I need something that fires back. This is bad. This is very, very bad. I'm gonna survive another phase. So, this is why we have Highborn. A land. It's forced to land. Very nice indeed. And this time we can afford to take this. Can still afford to loot the next place too, so good for us. No downsides going for us. Excellent. Wonder how well the ward spell would block Dragon Breath. Probably to some extent, but could we really rely on that? And even with the huge amount of magical regeneration happening through the magical fountain we had, we still lost magicka when doing even the weakest ward, so it's not really viable at the moment. We'd have to with restoration cost reductions quite a bit. I suppose we should move in that direction in general. Just invest in casting. That's always a safe bet. It's not like it's we're forever committed to that path. There's two ways I think to redistribute your perk points. One is to reach 100 in a skill, and then switch it to legendary, which means skill will be dropped to 15 and we'll get all the perk points returned for redistribution. Other is, I think there's a remap option, but that's not an easy thing to reach. I think it's some kind of a I think it's regained through Dragonborn DLC, but I'm not sure how. It's not something you just can go there and just switch on. It requires quite a bit. I just don't recall why. The respecking option would be probably even harder than reaching 100 in a skill. Naturally, once you reach it once, it's available to you at any moment. I think you have to spend like a dragon soul to use it, something trivial. I might use it once, because it's sort of things that were very useful on our way to the top might be useless once you reach the top. so at that point you might want to rethink your perk distribution. It's something that's very, very far off. So, I'll leave it here. Reachwater Rock and wrapping up the... yeah, reforge the Golder Amulet. After this, hitting the books, which was... where? Belglow Keep. Well, that's easy to reach, depending on how long this takes. If it's a large site, I'll just do that, but if it's a smaller site, I think I'll just go to Belglow Keep immediately. Either way, we'll stay with the college business. See it through the most part. I might make a quick sidetracking. Yeah, because I'm very confident I know where another word of power for the Stormcold is located. And there's usually a significant difference between each word of power. So if we could get another one of these, this could possibly be very, very useful ability. Open world, outside environment, area of effect, destruction spell, electric attack. That's what it basically amounts to. And I'm willing to bet our investment in the bonus destruction damage will also apply to the attacks the storm does. It's the nature of how these bonuses are applied. I think, yeah, it's the restoration ability. All spells are more effective against undead. Because how these are applied, I'm pretty sure if you become a vampire yourself, this actually means that all the effects that are on you at the... or is it after that? Once you become undead, will be also more effective. And the thing, yeah, that's something you could see happening. I mean, it only makes logical sense. However, it also means all the perks are treated as magical effects, so even those when you apply to an undead character will mean that they'll be more effective than they should be. So things like that. If those things can happen, I'm sure that an electrical attack through shock, I mean the shout ability, will benefit from perks applied to shock spells, because it's not going to be an effect that is applied to certain spells, it's going to be an effect that is applied to probably all shock damage sources of magical nature. So if we get a few points more destruction, we can raise to 50% more shock damage. Combine it with another word of power, and it could start to be a devastating area of effect attack, and it's not like it's something we can do on top of casting already. So cast destruction spells and rain lightning from the sky. It's probably a really good combination.